What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xtreme Gainz family? I'm Chuck. This is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Monday, June 27th, 2022, and this is my AMC, GME, and SPY Algo exposed daily update and preparation video for tomorrow and beyond. As always, I hope you all had a great day in this crazy volatile market today, and I hope you took advantage of that and you were able to make some extreme gains for yourselves. I'm gonna go over all my regulars that I always go over, my snake algo method for all three tickers, and some macro comparatives. So with that said, let's dig in. Real quick, my extreme gains for today, as always, came from my scalp setups on the 7 tickers that I set up every day. They provided 11 different entries from trigger, the highest ROI being 100%, a 75%, a 65%, a 60%. I had a few 40s and a few 30s to close out that list for today. Always happy and always grateful for those. I say it in every video. I hope y'all were able to do something similar and make some extreme gains for yourselves. Also, real quick, on your screen is AMC's 5-minute chart on your left, SPY's 5-minute chart on your right, with my micro intraday snake, including pre-market price action for today. As you can see, the projection and fulfillment was freaking awesome from these again today, so they landed heavy. I did put a tweet out about 2/3 of the way through today as an update on those. Thank you if you interacted with that when you saw it today. Moving on to the intra-week snakes. Currently on your screen is AMC and my intra-week snakes that I am currently looking at. AMC finished the day today up 13.31%. Let's go. The current intra-week snakes, as you know from last night's video, are from the day prior to, which is the red, the previous divergence, and the day of, which is the green. Looking at them in the mirrored position to the upside, in the straight up position to the downside, as I showed them to you last night. I also talked about the macro descending level of resistance here and my expectation of how price action would interact with that today, and that would be my indicator for price action to either go upside if it broke that level of resistance, or downside if it rejected off of it, due to what both of these potential new intra-week snakes were showing. Now with this movement today, it's obvious that I have enough data in the form of price action to get a good initial placement on these for both of them. So here we go. Here is the day of divergence, and I put it on there with an overlap into Friday, and you can see it is candle for candle with the overlap, and now today all of that to the upside. You can see what the projection is moving forward from it if price action were to continue fulfilling it in this position. Likewise, the day prior to divergence is overlapped the exact same amount of time, the exact same integrity of the projection and fulfillment, and you can see moving forward into tomorrow and beyond what the projection is from it if price action were to continue to fulfill it in its position. They are a little different here. What looks and appears to be tomorrow, getting granular about this, you can see here it does appear like there's an invert mirroring happening, and then we get a divergence from them what appears to be tomorrow afternoon-ish, if price action were to fulfill them in one of these manners. So that is what I am looking at from the intra-week snake perspective on AMC. For my box top people, you know this is my ascending third here, my mid time frame third. We have the W formation underneath, and we have the move right back up to it. We have the macro double here forming with the neckline, and that X marks the spot was the target, and it hit it dead on today. AMC at its highest today was up, I think, around 18%. and it looks like $14.75 as an intraday high. So that is everything I am looking at with AMC from an intra-week snake perspective. The macro comparative. As you know, on AMC, I have been using the previous double bottom over here in two positions, the flipped position and the straight up position. The flipped is the blue, the straight up is the red. Currently on your screen, obviously, is the flipped position. Now I can look at this one of two ways. Either like this, and that was the projection of this candle here to the upside being fulfilled, and it overshot it. And obviously you can see in this position what the price action would be and the projection would be moving forward into tomorrow and beyond if price action were to continue to fulfill it. And then I got to looking at this potentially a little more extended out like this. And I did check the invert mirrorings. They all do match up with the projection in that inverted mirror way, which would obviously be the same projection essentially initially here with a lower bottom, obviously, than it being here. So if and when price action were to reject and come back downside like this, I would be looking at the levels of both of these bottoms, and we'll be going over those if and when price action were to continue to fulfill it in this position. So that is the flipped position of the macro for AMC. The straight up position for the macro for AMC from that previous double bottom has been in this position, and you can see what the projection is from it moving forward into tomorrow and beyond. You can see the invert mirror here, the converge, and if we stay converged, you see what the projection is moving forward. That is everything I have for AMC. Up next is GME. GME finished the day drastically different from AMC, down 4.08%, even Steven when it closed out the day, trading at 129.69 is what it's showing me on Webull, and okay, there it is, 129.69, but it's showing 129.75 here. A little strange, huh? It must just be a fluke, a coincidence, huh? Nothing major to even question, huh? Anyways, the current intra-week snake is what you see on here, and the projection from it going into today was fulfilled again 100% to the downside, candle for candle. This thing has now projected and fulfilled 3 whole weeks. You can see what the projection is moving forward into tomorrow and beyond from the intra-week snake if price action were to continue fulfilling it in its current position. Also, a reminder, I said this in last night's video, GME's average fulfillment time from these intra-week snakes has been around the 3-week mark, so I will be actively on the lookout for a divergence from this. It'll be very easy to pick up on, and if and when it does that, y'all know the drill. I'll be clipping the day of and the day prior to potentially get the next one. So that is the intra-week snake from GME. The macro comparative, like AMC, I have been using the previous double bottom right next door here in 2 different positions, the straight up and the mirrored. We had looked at the straight up in a way that this looked like an invert mirroring to the upside. According to this, I got to looking at this, and it could still be that, by the way, but I got to looking at this here this evening, and it appears to me like it needed extended a little bit. And if it does, that is essentially where we would be in it. I was looking at this as a potential level change, and I don't think it was a level change. I think what we're seeing is a more extended version, and this being drug out a little further than the size of the previous W. So in this position, it doesn't change the projection as it was in the compressed in the straight up position. The projection's exactly the same. You can see moving forward that it would need to go hard downside and a continuation to downside to continue fulfilling it in the straight up position. In the mirrored position, which we've had to look at, and it did fulfill that for the last couple of weeks in the mirrored position, and I had talked to you in last night's video about this needing to converge back with this if it were to continue fulfilling it in the mirrored position. Obviously, it did not do that today, and it looks like it is potentially back in that straight up position as I showed it. So that is everything that I am looking at with GME moving into tomorrow and beyond. Last but not least, SPY. SPY finished the day today down 0.38%. It ended the after hours trading, I almost couldn't spit that out, up 0.15%, ending the day trading at 389.16. The current intra-week snake is the yellow that is on here, and it fulfilled candle for candle today. We got the rejection where I said that I was expecting it to come off of roughly at its lowest point for this to reject and fulfill to the downside, and that is exactly what we got today, candle for candle. There's not much left of this snake. I talked to you briefly in last night's video about this as well. It has fulfilled its projection for the time that it has been clipped for and put on here. I have seen these divert early and not fulfill this last little bit at tail end on them previously with SPY. So I am again actively on the lookout for a divergence from this. It will be easy to tell as this moving forward into tomorrow and what appears to be, tomorrow by lunchtime. So if we divert or one way or the other, it looks like I'll be clipping a potential new intra-week snake for this tomorrow, whether we divert from it or whether we fulfill it until it expires. It looks like I'll be clipping a new potential snake for SPY tomorrow. So that is the current intra-week snake and what I am looking at and for with it moving forward. And the macro comparative in the alternate placement of the extended version that I have been showing you in this position was similar to the intra-week snake in that it was requiring a rejection to downside. I did talk about this potentially getting a short-term move upside today, but it did not get that. Right now, you can see in this current position moving forward into tomorrow and beyond what the projection is if price action continues to fulfill it. And if we divert from this to upside, I talked to you in last night's video about my levels that I'm looking at for breach levels to the upside and how I would expect that price action to potentially react to them with the box top setup sitting here as well. If you want context on that and you weren't here for last night's video, go check that out. And that is essentially everything I have for this video and for AMC, GME, and SPY. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you all very much. I appreciate you coming by. I will get an update and prep video out tomorrow night, as always, after market close, and I will talk to you guys then. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Later.